Alrighty. How are we doing? What's going on?
Man, that Stardew Valley is popular for a
Oh,
reason.
oh
Holy
boy.
sh!
What's the number at?
Um, the number of hours, I think it's 14,
Okay.
but those have been on camera.
Mhm.
Like, I'm just LPing Stardew Valley now.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
That you've at least turned it into monetized time.
Yes, I am enjoying the fact that I monetized it.
Smart. This is good for your
So
addictions.
we're starting our new segment for Pat's Cozy Game Streaming, Pat's Pastures, this week
Oh my god.
with an introduction coming from Quiet Viking
Oh
this
my
Wednesday.
God. Oh my god. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, that's the way to do it. If you feel it in your blood
These
and you can't
cozy
resist,
motherfuckers love that shit.
if you know that you can't resist, find a way to monetize it. That makes sense. Sure.
I ran into this thing, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but like I started playing Stardew Valley, and I'm like, wow, I could just literally play this every second of the day, kind of like
Damn.
eat it up forever, right?
Hmm.
But I'm like, no, I'm doing streams, and people want to see that. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna not touch Stardew Valley. I'm gonna leave it over there, right? So I'm like, is there a equivalent that I can waste my time with? And so you go down the thing of like, hey, I really got into this, I got into that. Is there anything that's similar to that? And the answer is there's an enormous amount of things that are wildly, incredibly, almost litigiously similar to it, but none of them are as good. The one that got really big and the one that's the most popular is actually the best one.
And it would make sense because it's also had the most amount of money, time, patches, and everything injected into
Yeah.
it to ensure that quality over time.
Yeah.
So
The
wherever
only
it's,
one that comes close is not finished. It's in early access.
yeah, it might
So-
not have launched in a state that would beat all these current competitors, but it certainly would be there now. And I bet you this applies to every genre king. You know,
hey, I got really into Street Fighter 6. Is there anything no, there isn't.
unless you like something completely different, you know,
Unless you like something
unless you like
completely
something completely different. But yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and genre king, evolution.
It sucks to get in at the top.
So does it? Because the thing is I feel as if like it's the most streamlined your experience is going to be, providing that you then have everybody coming in going, here's the mods you get, here's this, here's that, etc. Here's the wiki. But then I also imagine too that like at the top is where you get your different modes or your different levels of like, oh, don't worry about this, just go play this version instead, or spend all your time on this other thing. Like FF14 is a platform. Fortnite is a platform. I wouldn't be surprised if Stardew was also like that.
What do you mean by Stardew as a platform? Like to jump off of?
As in, no, as in like, I'm sure the amount of content in that game must be insane.
It's a lot
at this point.
It's a lot. Even it's one of those things where you ever look up something in a game and you're like, I need to know this detail about the mines, right? And every single noun on the page is like a blue link that you don't understand. Like you don't even understand what it is. And you're like, I don't understand. How could there be all of these blue links for this fucking simple I don't fucking know. It's somebody in the chat pointed out that Monster Hunter is like that. Wow, I got really into Monster Hunter. What else you can play other fucking Monster Hunter games? There are like 70 other hunting games. They are all mediocre to some degree.
I think walking up to Yu-Gi-Oh, I started to feel the blue link. When Shane was explaining it, I felt the blue links in his words.
Yeah.
That was the most recent example.
You've got to protect your cones, Woolie.
I think like I think that like if I'm one really big card game addiction in my childhood from like being all the way in on all of this. It just never happened though. You know, I like
I
even when I got into Pokemon cards, it was almost like, oh, this could be as fun as Pokemon, the game that we play on, you know, connecting to each other
yeah.
for actually. And I was like, no, not as, but at least maybe I can collect all the cards. That'd be a thing. And then I just kind of got bored with it, you
I
know?
feel like God doesn't want someone like me or you to get into like collectible card games because like every pro is matched by some like societal disaster. It's like, oh man, I think Pokemon's really cool. I have like a lot of fond affectation for Pokemon characters. Why don't I know it's popular. Why don't I try and play Pokemon cards at my local like $1 million?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Like fighting the worst, most disgusting people you've
so
ever
I,
met in your life to get the packs at the
I
Walmart
think
at 2 a.m.
I want to say the cards came out when I was in like grade 8 or something, and like me not knowing anything about card games at the time, I didn't have any friends that were into card games really. Like I knew people that were into Magic, but like I wasn't as tight with those people. um I naively was kind of just thinking, oh well, this will be like, to me I'm like, you know what would be nice if I just collected if I bought 150 cards and
Yeah, that'd
each
be so
one
cool.
was a Pokemon, and then
Yeah,
like,
that'd be odd. And then we could play some games.
and that's it. And that was it. That was literally the what I thought it was gonna be, you know. And little did I know, like the fucking monetized structure of everything that we see now, like was already in place back then. The packs, the hooks, the boosters, etc. I had no idea, you know. Um, and each thing I found out certainly pushed me further and further from that. But like, you know, eventually learning that like, oh well, there are these other like closed deck card games where you can get everything all together, but nobody really plays those or cares about them, you know.
Oh man, never forget. I'm looking at the Steam page for Artifact, maybe the biggest bomb I've ever heard of from Valve ever. Do you remember Artifact?
No.
Artifact was, hey, all this collectible card game shit sucks. Why don't we just sell you a card game for a regular fucking price? And then you play cards, and then we'll put out new cards. And so everyone has all the cards. And like, it was just a dismal failure on like every single fucking possible effect.
Ugh, that sucks. Yeah, you see, like, it's like I'm seeing someone's like, oh, but yeah, those are just boring, Wooly, and I'm like, right, well, we're after different things, you know.
Oh, that's not how it worked. All
you
right,
know,
hold on. Someone in the chat explain to me how it works so I can laugh at it more.
Okay.
More effectively.
I mean it when the card game is like only part of the appeal, then there's the I mean the collecting is also a cool part too, certainly, but the trade value, the monetization, the fact that it's like I can buy this card, it's worth money, and now it's actually kind of an investment in addition to me playing this game, you know, in the way that knife skins become currency while you're enjoying playing the game and using those knives, but the knife currency thing is just a little extra bit of economy flavor on top of the bit.
You know what the best part is like cards have like this like playing cards for like any card game have the like lowest like objective value of like literally any entertainment product possible. Like they are like sub penny in value in terms of material. And so like all the costs would be like shipping for these things, right? So if you have these situations where everyone's going crazy and people can't get into the game because of freak scalpers, you could just print more cards.
Right.
It would actually be trivial, but they're happy with the insanity and the disgusting behavior and the aftermarket nonsense. So like if you I would like to play Pokemon or Magic or whatever, and you're like, oh, this thing's disgusting. It's disgusting by active design.
Yeah. But and profitable in that way, right? Because there is a part of this too where you have to consider, if it was just purely gameplay, I'm gonna sound like such an ignorant ass right now.
Come on, old man.
I'm gonna sound like no, to anyone who's fully in on the card game world. Like I'm gonna be such, but like there's there's a thought where I'm like, if it was just purely about the gameplay, then you would just be printing and playing. You're right. You could just print and play whatever you want and have fun with the game mechanics, and
know,
that.
If I wanted to like actually play like Magic, just play it.
Yeah.
Could I just print out pirated cards
I can't
and play it with people?
I can't.
And would people care?
I can't see why not. Or if I'm showing up to have fun with the game, I can't see why that would be an issue, right? And the thought is, we literally do that with D&D, right?
Yeah, we do that with D&D.
The whole point is you grab a piece of paper and you do it yourself. You can't. You don't
my imagination.
You don't have to go buy a special character sheet or whatever. You fucking, like dice. You got to get dice. But like, so
dice are common.
Yeah,
are a common thing.
Okay, so the term for that is proxies. Yeah. Okay.
Proxies, huh? I
have a friend who's been making his own JoJo themed Magic cards, for example.
I had a lot of proxy textbooks in college.
Yeah. Shout outs to the copy doctor.
Shout out to the guy who would stand next to the photocopy machine for 8 hours a day and just make buckets.
Copy doctor was a business, but anyway. So yeah, proxies, right? And that makes a lot of sense to me in the sense that you're like, yeah, I actually just want to play the game and have fun here. The economy is separate, and the collecting side of things, I definitely do get. In fact, my first memories of cards was my brother and my cousins and all of us getting these, inheriting this binder of Marvel cards. And I often talked about having the old, like the Fleer Ultra sets, and there was no game involved in these Marvel cards. It was just characters, and we would just draw. We'd start out by drawing Wolverine from the pose on the card and check the numbers on the back, and that's all it was. You just look at them and have them and be like, hey, cool, that's a card, like a baseball card, So like, when I kind of remember learning about how it's like, oh, some cards have like a game system behind them while they're also collectibles, it was like, oh, that's a cool little kind of extra thing to it, But I was so surprised to find like the interaction between the market and the micro and the buying boosters and the whole setup. It was so predatory.
It's why your digital collectible card game is so nefarious, because now the value of the card is actually 0. Because the card doesn't even exist, but they have the ability to disallow proxies.
Well, right? unless you can do a digital marketplace and do
but I mean, like your Runeterra cards, you can't actually fuck with that. And then you get to have a system that has like mechanics that have to have a computer do them instead of a human being. Like one of the things when I remember listening to Josh Sawyer talk about like Pillars of Eternity when they built the combat system, they're like, the computer's going to do all the math for to hit, so we don't need to make a to hit system that you can understand with dice, right? We can use the computer's going to fucking do it. You don't need to actually roll a dice, so we can do all sorts of weird shit like grazes and stuff like that. And so I think about like in Runeterra, there's even like a really annoying system that would be miserable to play on a deck, which is called Deep, which is when you have 10 cards left to go. You get a bunch of buffs to your characters. And it's like, yeah, if you were playing that on a table, that'd be fucking miserable.
Oh, you'd have to track way too much.
Count every card you threw out, or you have to keep picking up your deck and not look at it, but like thumb through it while not looking at it. Is there 10 left?
That would get miserable for sure. That would get really annoying to track.
So now you have a system where it's like, well, you have to play the card game online where they have 100% control.
It simplifies the process for you.
Runeterra down and make you super depressed all the time.
And and I will say that like that's part of what. So I liked playing, Yomi, the card game. I and when it's simplified into having the virtual version of it, it's like, oh yeah, that's a nice way to just quickly go through the rules and stuff. But a big part of the appeal there too was just the idea of that, like, hey, there's no extras to really buy here. It's all locked into this one set, and it is kind of it's a little bit like saddening to kind of see. Some folks kind of be like, yeah, but if it's a closed fixed game and it's all there, then it's not as fun because it doesn't have the market aspects, which include the predatory aspects of it, to make it interesting enough to become a big phenomenon, you know? Like, I would like to believe that a game can just be fun enough to play on its own and not have to get into that stuff.
It's so wild because you're totally right. And I played, to my knowledge, I played 2 of the only versions of these card games that were just fun games to play until they were like broken / ruined, which is Runeterra was just great, aside from the fact that it didn't make any money.
Right.
Like, it didn't make any money. All the cosmetics were terrible, and cards were too easy to obtain. So nobody ever spent any fucking money.
Yeah.
And I also played Marvel Snap during its very early existence, where it was great.
Yeah.
And they had a really, really simple problem, which was clearly intentional, which was you had your battle pass cards, which were quite good, and then would go into rotation. And then you would have tier cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 and 5s were your rares and ultra rares. And you would have to build up a lot of currency to get like 1 tier 4 or 5 card a month or every 2 months. And every month they would add a new tier 4 and tier 5. So every month, if you didn't spend tons of money, you got weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker.
Right.
So I played it for like 3 or 4 months, and by the end of that period, I was like, I literally cannot compete without putting out a bunch of cash.
Yeah.
Which I assume is the intention. But like that kept stacking on itself forever.
Yes, no, and the idea that old cards are no longer eligible to be played, you know, because it's got to rotate to be the newest and so on. Like the part where you're looking at any of these systems and it's like, okay, so it has to have a little bit of FOMO or a lot of FOMO to push you if you're enjoying or not enjoying the thing. There has to be a FOMO element to it in order for it to succeed like massively. But there also is an idea too here where if it's a closed system, the balance would probably get like solved and fucked pretty quickly. So there is a need, even in a closed system, to constantly go in and balance and tinker and so on over time, you know, to keep things interesting as well, right? Like,
yeah,
it is, because yeah, the Runeterra is an example where like people like that was popular, people were enjoying it, but like you said, it made no money. It was, I guess, it was too generous with how much it gave you.
It was crazy generous. It was ridiculous.
But like, I am curious to know, like, you know, do you then have to take a system like that and like, you know, crank up the toxicity a bit, but not too much to find the healthy balance.
Well, actually,
and you're playing against the human psyche.
We've discovered the actual solution to this problem in the past, and that is a 52 deck of cards can play 1 billion games, and you buy it for $1, and that's it. And then you're sad about Pokemon cards or whatever, and your dad says, hey, I'll play cards with you. And you go, I don't want to play cards with you, Dad. And he goes, why not? And I go, you have won every hand I have ever played with you in my whole life. And he goes, nah. And then you play with him and he beats you on every hand. And you're old enough to be like, this is statistically improbable. This is actually kind of ridiculous. And so then you go play Slay the Spire.
What was that fucking situation with the dudes that were walking in to play Magic with like 2 people carrying a coffin full of cards?
Oh, I forget what it was. It was either Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh.
The one that doesn't allow
it.
The one that has no stagnation of
yeah, it had no upper deck limit.
Right.
And so the sort time on the deck would like stall out the other person's turn. That's been a thing in a bunch of games. There was
Yu-Gi-Oh.
There was a Hearthstone deck, and I think there was a Runeterra deck, and I think there was also a Snap deck that they were designed on like, I'm going to cause so many interactions to occur that the timer will run out and you won't get to actually play. Like, it doesn't matter if they're good. I need this series of events to take your full 60-second turn.
Awful. God damn it. I'm kind of depressed that we didn't reach a happy medium with digital complexity and analog card collecting. because I feel one of the solutions was drop mix, right? That harmonics card game where they made these cards. I bought as many as I could find. You know,
Have you talked to me about this?
I have. It was years ago, and I think I might have showed it to you.
I'm having to look this up. I don't know what the fuck you're
Okay, so I bought this a while ago, and
wow, that's a cool looking.
it's awesome. So drop mix was a it's a lot. You put it on your table, and it has 5 card slots on it, and it's a machine, and you turn it on, and then you buy these cards, and each card is a part of a song. It's an instrument. It has a color and like a point score on it, and then you place the card on the slot in the machine, and then it starts playing the music.
That seems cool.
From the card, right? And it's got like a little RFID thing going, and it triggers the music, and then you can combine and mix music together, so you can take, you know, almost like it's the same thing that DJ Hero was kind of doing, you know, but it lets you take
DJ Hero fucking kicked ass.
But it was DJ Hero, but you would split every track into percussions, vocals, rhythm, lead, you know, and then like all encompassing, and then you can kind of like just make these crazy musical mixes, but also play a game for points, and it would be like you're almost like playing your own DJ set. You know, it was very, very fun to play. But the coolest thing about it was the moment you put a card down on the surface, it knew exactly what you placed, and then the app on your phone and whatever started playing the music and reacting to it. So the thought process there, and I'm sure that, you know, you see this of course with the card games in Japan too, when you go and you buy like Fate cards, or you know, there's a whole floor on the arcade dedicated to like buying those cards and using them back in the game. So the idea that you could take a popular card game like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh and then have like a surface that you can place the cards on, and then it would make things happen, felt like the natural evolution of where drop mix was going. But it seems like that never really happened, or I've never heard of anyone pushing any further past what we saw there. You know, and drop mix died.
Man, this whole discussion is like making me understand why people are so fucking crazy about Slay the Spire and fucking Monster Train and all that shit. Like just because you get your little card opening pack at the end of any given thing that gives you a card. And you can be sure that Slay the Spire isn't going to fuck on you.
Yeah.
Or die.
Well, because after the fucking this game died, I'm like, okay, the phone that has it installed still has the game that I can run, but other people, unless you like fucking jailbreak, you know, you can't get the drop mix app anymore, and it's a whole problem. It sucks. I remember when I was looking at the Balatro had those like limited printed physical things, and it was like, what if you had to play Balatro in real life? What if you had to sit there?
You fucking could.
With the fucking play get your calculator out, or get one of those kids who can do the hand abacus shit.
I don't think
the kids who do this
handle the fucking like order of operations.
You can with one of those kids, or with a calculator. You know, you put down a fucking insane joker, and you just get not a number. All right, there's your score. But if you had a cool Balatro physical thing, and the cards had, you know, reading, the cards were
just this image of like, Woolie, why is there like a 12-year-old Chinese kid sitting next to your desk? Oh, the internet's out and I want to play Balatro.
Analog Balatro. Every time you play, exactly, you know, oh, we got a boss coming up, let's go. And like, you know, like you can't play any spades, and so the kid just fucking grabs your spades off the table and throws them away. No. I'm super down for Analog Balatro Kid.
I don't think anyone would be on that other end. That's hard.
I've seen super impressive calculations being done. This week I saw a video of like what looked like a toddler staring at a TV that the game was like, we're going to put a bunch of numbers in sequence, and then you have to calculate what are the operations between each number to get to this final like large number. And the kid was like, couldn't have been more than 5 years old, and like straight up figured it out, you know? And it's insane. And like, you just kind of watch as like the adults on the British TV show get there like minutes after this kid did it, you know?
Yeah, well,
so I'm telling you, Analog Balatro Kid can sit there and make it work, man.
I bet I could beat up that kid in a fight. So there.
Oh God.
So there, kid. What are you gonna do? You do your maths at me.
If spells were real, you'd be so fucking cooked, bro.
Yeah, maybe.
If the language of math and reality could be edited, almost as if there were some sort of backyard, that kid would win.
Wow, just really just crowbarring that shit in here, huh?
It
Oh man,
was
the
appropriate
backyard.
for the analogy.